Good evening, and welcome to another demented version of Diatribes. Now here's your decrepit and degenerate host, Voice of Doom. Alright, hopefully we don't hear many more bombs in the near future, but thought I'd do a diatribe. They're few and far between these days, but I figured I'd comment when comments due. So, I'm at a crossroads, and I have to make a major decision about what I want to do with my life. So, it's an interesting time in many ways, because like I've been telling you, I've been drawn to go back to the Northwest, possibly to live out my final days. And for no other reason than I just have a comfort in that area. It's probably karmic, and I was born there and went all over the place, and then now I feel like going back. So I've been looking into the logistics of that, and then I get, as is my wont, ambiguous and going back and forth. I'm comfortable here. Even if I sell the house, I can move somewhere else in town here and not have to make a big project out of it. So I'm hemming and hawing, and I'm going to have to chant and try to get clarity of what I really want to do. And once I get there, well, I have the life that I am picturing in my head. Because the way I see it now, I probably will transfer to another restaurant in the same chain I'm working in, so that I can be assured of employment immediately. That was my brainstorm, is that I can do that, and so that'll make that much easier. But still, got to get a place to live and all that crap. Get rid of all my crap that I've accumulated. Everybody's moved, everybody's relocated, okay. But it coincides with the chaos going on in the world in a way, because things could go one way or the other. And I still don't have water, by the way, and I'm thinking about just doing without it and just selling and going, because that would make me go fast. And I'm getting used to it, really. I'm actually, I can live without. Still have to pay the water bill, but that's beside the point. Orangey made a speech, and you gotta love the guy, man. I'm sorry, but he talks about himself a lot, and he, thinks a lot of himself, of course, but he speaks off the cuff, and it's, and he talks about global things that change everybody's lives, and how, we're winning, and things can still go one way or the other, but things are still, and they're up in the air at this point in history, April 1st. I have no fool's prank to do. This is it. The whole concept is an April Fool's joke, but I mean, he spoke off the cuff, and he was articulate and clear, and spoke like your neighbor, spoke like somebody you see in the bar somewhere, instead of having all this political soft speak, don't offend anybody, don't be too this or too that, and just be a milquetoast, do nothing politician. And this guy ain't that. And my main concern is it's too good. and why there's a mass amount of people who hate him. And I'm looking for a reason why, because instead of saying, oh, well, that's you, it's like, wait a minute. I'm seeing the same thing you are, I think. I mean, different angles, of course. Let's not get into the weeds. I'm seeing the same thing you are, and this guy seems to be doing a good job. And you're just protesting all over the place and doing the most ironic, stupid, hypocritical, impunicity by the handful, by the shovelful of protesting. I mean, just examples is, first of all, guy, they're at a No Kings rally, so the guy's with his sign and he's got a crown on his head, and it's like, wait a minute. Doesn't that, go the opposite of what you're saying? I'm wearing a crown showing I'm king, but I'm at a No Kings rally. It's idiocracy. I mean, true and clear. It's these people that just get sucked in by the media and by whatever forces. I don't want to get into all that. Everybody knows about it. The forces that want them to get out and protest at everything. I'm waiting for them to go start protesting the price of gas. Okay, wait a minute. You guys, the same guys that were saying the price of gas should go up and we should use less of it. And now you're burning down electric cars and then get out on the street and protest the price of gas. Now, that's why the future is bright, because there's going to be many, 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 many billions of people gone. And that'll make a lot of room for everybody else. So that's the good news I have. And I think if I'm thinking like my enemy thinks, I think now is really a good time to unleash something. That's what I'd do. If I was a trillionaire in my bunker, well appointed, and thinking about these pesky proles that are running around causing a ruckus, which he caused in the first place, I would say, yeah, it's time. Get the aerosol can out. And so that's a real reality I'm thinking about. I don't want to be moving to the Seattle area in the middle of a tumult. And I won't be in Seattle, of course, but that area. Yeah. When the aerosol hits the fan, then there's going to be all kinds of chaos, and it might be good to be in a comfort place at home, where I am now. So I'm always looking for doom, so that keeps me from making any major moves. So yeah, I'm in a quandary, and the world is kind of in a quandary because, I mean, putting aside the fact that we're not out of the woods yet, and there's got to be something to maintain security in these straits. Okay. So Orangey's doing a brilliant thing again, if he's doing what I think he's doing, which is sending a lot of Marines over to Iran, which he probably won't use in action. Or if he does, he'll do it in such a precise, strategic way, pinpoint, raid on whatever their, mission is. The mission can't just be able to go and kill people because there's too many of them. So they're going to be used expeditiously or not used at all just to show these Iranians, and I think they're starting to cave. And by starting to cave, get the flow going again. But nobody's thinking about the repercussions of how much crap that's gone into the air from all these explosions, and gas tanks being blown up, and refineries being blown up, and facilities and infrastructure being blown up, and all those fumes going up in the air, and all that steel. All the time it took to make a big, huge oil refinery blown to smithereens. And that's all over the place. That's not just in Iran. It's happening, even in America. Things are blowing up. But just think about the overall karmic retribution. We'll suffer from basically abusing the planet really bad. Really, 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 really bad. Because we're just blowing everything up. We build up a war machine and then we blow it up. I mean, come on. Humankind is a total failure. And any God worth his salt would see it and would deal with it. There's other planets. You can try again. But yeah, this planet's a failure. So I think the aerosol's coming, so I really had to think about what I want to do. It's a kind of a short one. I just wanted to comment on Orangey's speech. It was, it was good. The guy, I compare and contrast to the last Petri dish trying to make the same speech. If he did attack Iran, which he would not, but just in the same context or in the same, genre, he'd be stumbling and bumbling and twiddling and twaddling and, come on, man, and oh my God. Compared to Orangey, he's moss. I mean, there's no two ways about it. And other people think differently, and it's like, what am I seeing that's wrong? I see a doddering old fool, and they say, yeah, you're talking about Trump, and it's like, no, whatever. It's perception. Maybe it's alien technology that's making people see things different. But, yeah, I got a couple minutes. I'll talk about why people are going nuts and why we shall probably be eradicated. There was once a time, not too long ago, when you had to earn your way up to fame. Slowly but surely. Hone your talent, and if you got it, you got it, and if you don't, you don't. If you get breaks, you do, and if you don't, you don't. And everything was built on the fact that not anybody could just put out a mass-produced product. Now we have this thing. And everybody wants to be a star, and now they're doing absolutely ridiculous, crazy things, getting themselves fired from their jobs just to try to be a star. And I won't go into detail about that. You have 350 million people in America wanting to be a star. And then you have chaos, and then you have teens on the streets of New York, gangs of them just running around absolutely like wild bison, not even as orderly as that. They're just going around marauding and, tearing up stores and stealing and just being disruptive because they know they're doomed deep in their heart. They're Gen Alphas. They don't stand a chance. None of them will live to see 30. So I'll leave it there on that happy note. Enjoy the night, and thanks.